A few years back, Country Life introduced you to the charity group behind Retired Working Dogs, helping rehome old farm dogs and pups unsuited to rural life. There's been a huge uptick in the number of dogs looking for new homes in recent months. Janina Schwanecker caught up with one of the trustees to find out why.
I'm Mary-Claire Andrews. I'm one of 3 trustees for the Retired Working Dogs Charitable Trust. I joined the organisation a couple of years ago after adopting a dog from the trust. His name is Eric. He's changed my life. He was the retired pig dog, so he spent the first 10 years of his life chasing down large pigs, and now he's spent the last 3 with us chasing down food and hot blankets in front of the fire and sticking onto our beds and just generally having lots of cuddles. He's fabulous.
Why is it so important to find new homes for retired working dogs?
They work really, really hard. So, these are dogs that are rounding up cattle and sheep. They're working on high country. They're a really important part of the farming operations. And they've put a lot into the work that they do. They're loyal and committed and, they really do work hard. But there comes a point where they can't have a space on farm anymore. They get maybe too old to work high country, or they may get injured. And sometimes they're not really cut out for working, and they just need to be moved off farm. And they make such amazing pets. The farmers can't keep them all. Many of them would love to, but of course they can't. They are, working dogs, and they need to keep having a full suite of working dogs. So we find them pet homes, and we have a huge community of people who are really looking for that loyalty and kindness that's just inherent in so many of the working breeds that we rehome.
So in comes the trust, and what role does the trust play?
So we work with, on average, about 500 farmers each year to find them homes. We do that through our enormous online community. We rehome on behalf, so we will get the information about the dog, learn about them, learn about their comfortableness with children and stock and chickens, etc. And we advertise them through our Facebook page and match them up with potential new homes. For the ones that need to come off farm quickly or who may be injured and need some surgery or rehabilitation, we will take them in and foster them. So we don't have a shelter. We have a team of volunteer fosterers around the country to bring those dogs in, settle them into pet life, and look after them if they need looking after.
And you've seen a rise in the number of dogs you're looking to rehome at the moment. Can you tell me what that looks like?
Yeah, it's actually 2 sides to the story. So yes, we're seeing a rise in the number of dogs, and we think that's actually because a lot of the surgeries that we need to intervene in are orthopedic ones. They're very expensive, and for some farmers, the cost of that can just be too much with all of the costs that farmers are facing on farm. On-farm inflation has been enormous. It's a huge expense. So we're seeing a little bit more of that. But actually, typically in winter, we tend to see a slowdown in the adoptions anyway. But there has been a slowdown because also the cost of owning an animal now is so much more expensive. Food and vet bills, etc. So it's a bit of a double whammy for us, really. At the moment, we've got around 45 that are looking for homes. We have a lot in foster and lots of them listed on our Facebook and on our website. They're all working breeds, so beautiful Hunterways, Collie Crosses, mid-sized dogs, and they range in age from puppies. So we do have the puppies that there's no room for them to grow up into working dogs on farm, all the way through to the older retired dogs, sort of 8, 9, 10 years old.
And why do you think it's a lovely idea to adopt a retired working dog? What kind of qualities do they have compared to other dogs you might be able to find at the pound or SPCA?
With my experience with Eric, I was a first-time dog owner. With Eric, I had this amazingly well-trained, beautifully obedient, all the hard work had been done. None of the screaming puppy stage. He was calm, happily sits in the back of the ute for hours on end. Easy to bring into your life if you're not an experienced dog owner, but also for people who are experienced and who love working with dogs. They're full of life. They're very intelligent. They've done some complicated work and been trained to a high level often. So that kind of intelligence and curiosity makes them really special to have in your life. If you are thinking about bringing a dog into your home, absolutely consider a working dog. Some people think that maybe because they're typically sort of medium to larger size, that's going to be difficult to have in a home. I can tell you my dog's 35 kilos and I live in a tiny house, and he fits in just fine because of his beautiful manners and his lovely temperament.
And what are you looking for in an ideal rehoming situation? What kind of people are you looking to send these dogs off to?
Every dog is different, so every home is different and every need is different. But it's really someone who's going to appreciate, especially for the older dogs, someone who's going to appreciate the work that these dogs have done and, give them some kindness and some loving and some care for the last years of their life.
What's involved in an adoption process?
The dogs are with us in foster. What we do is we will advertise them on our Facebook page and the various other channels and ask for expressions of interest. And then we have a team who really carefully go through those applications to find out about the home environment, the level of fencing, whether there's children there, other stock, etc., and whether there's other dogs there, and really work out whether there's going to be a good match. And if we have someone that we think looks like there's going to be a good match for that dog, then we'll arrange a meet and greet so that the dog can see the environment and we can see everyone interacting together, make introductions to the other animals that may be on the property, especially the other dogs. If that goes really, really well, then our dogs are adopted for a month's trial, which is just to really make sure they settle in and everything works out well. And if it doesn't, we happily take the dog back at the end of that month and find them another home. But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they fall in love at that point and it's a good fit. We charge a fee for our rehoming, which covers the cost of spaying the dog if they haven't already been spayed, any vet bills that need to be covered, and a donation to us. For the rehoming, we actually don't charge a fee. We do ask our farmers to make a donation if we successfully rehome dogs for them. Like all charities at the moment are definitely struggling because of the slowdown in adoption. So we are looking for perhaps a corporate sponsor to support us, especially with covering those vet bills, which is so important for the dogs that we see.
That was Marie-Claire Andrews of the Retired Working Dogs Trust speaking with Janina Schwanecker. There are plenty of lovely dogs looking for new homes, and the Trust is also keen to find more foster families. You can even meet some of the team at an event they're running in Wairarapa on Sunday, July the 21st. And you can find out more, including about the adoption or rehoming process, on our website.